I have used both of RitFit's leg press hack squat machines. This is the newest one here, and this is $1,100 compared to the $800 one. And I get people ask me, which one should I get? This is my height. How much weight can it hold? Lots of different questions. So I'm just gonna go over quickly what you can expect from one versus the other and if it's worth the money to get this bigger version. So first off, this one's bigger. It's wider. It's about 8 inches wider than the other one. And part of that is due to these pegs. You can have weight plate storage up here and down here. You've got plate storage on the back. We'll go over that in a bit. So a little over half an inch wider, but it's almost a foot, or half a foot wider, 6 inches, 8 inches. But then it's almost a full foot longer. So my other one stopped about right here. So this is a little more limiting. My car still fits in the garage, but it's close. So that's something to keep in mind. Depending on how much space you have, it is gonna take up more space lengthwise. And it's almost the same height. This sticks up a little bit higher than the other one, but not a big deal there. But what about the load capacity? So the other version, it says 1,200 pounds, but that's the static capacity. Like with this, it has lots of plate storage. It can hold up to 2,000 pounds on this, but that's just static. So the dynamic load for this one is 1,300 pounds. The other one, I believe, if I got the number right, was 560. So that's a pretty big difference. You can still get a good workout with that. When I was doing hack squats, I think I got up to like 200 pounds, and then leg press was higher. With this, the leg press right now, I'm doing around 400 pounds for sets of like 15. So still a long way to go. I will probably never get close to 1,300 pound leg presses on this. That would hurt. So if you got massive legs and you can push a lot, then definitely want to go with this. Although I would say if you can do 1,300 pound leg presses, are you doing a full leg press like all the way in, or are you going like this and doing these kind? Like I saw this guy at the gym load up like 800 pounds and he was doing barely moving. I was like, is that supposed to be a calf raise or what? So then there's user height. That's the other question I get a lot. People say, hey, how tall are you? This is how tall I am. What should I get? If you're taller, you definitely want to go with this one. The other one, the top end, it says it's ideal for up to 6 feet 4 inches. This one's 6 feet 8 inches. And this one has a lot better range of motion. The rails come down a lot further. It's also good all the way down to 4 feet 9 inches versus the other one's 5 feet 3 inches. Now this one, I haven't had to do any modifications. I can get on here, do the hack squat, get really deep with it. With a leg press, I can go all the way till my legs are pretty much touching my shoulders. And we've got the safety here depending on how you adjust it. It's a lot better in that aspect than the previous one. If you look at my other video, it still works well, it's cheaper, but I made some modifications. I made like a 5-inch step that I put on top of this so I could get a really deep hack squat, and it worked great after that. And then I would get a gymnastics pad and put on there and lean against it, and that got me full range of motion on the leg press. But with this, you don't need any of that. You get the full range of motion. It works really well. At least for me, I'm 5'11", so there you go. So then we have the size of the leg press foot plate. On the other one, it's smaller, 18 inches, so that's 1.5 feet wide. If you like a wide stance on your leg press, which I do like a little bit wider, you don't really have that option. It still worked well, but it was limiting. This one is 25 inches, so it's a little over 2 feet. I usually get my toes right, I mean, you can kind of see the foot marks here, depending on the angle from all the chalk on the ground, but pretty much put my feet right here, which would be on the old one, I guess, would kind of put my foot like halfway off of this, which isn't ideal. So you got a lot more real estate on this. There's not the bar in the middle, so when I'm doing calf raises, it works out better. And also, when it comes to this pad, the other one, you just release it and go up like this to do your hack squat. This one has multiple angles, so the other one I would have it at a right angle, and it can be kind of limiting depending on your ankle mobility. But this one, you can make it go back a little bit, and I go all the way back to here, and just that little bit of a difference, instead of my foot being like this, it's a little bit forward, and so I can get deeper before my heel will start to come off, because ideally, you don't want to go past where your heel comes off, because then you're pushing with your toes. You want to be pushing with your whole foot. So I like that aspect of this pad. Now this back pad here, when you switch it up and you're doing the hack squat, this is quite a lot bigger as well. So the old one is 23 inches, a little under 2 feet. So again, you can't get really wide, depending on how you like doing your hack squats. This one is 30 inches, so that's another 6 inches, you know, half a foot, a little over with this one. And that helps out. And there's also multiple angles. It's easier to move with this. This just slides forward and backwards, and you can also move it again. So you've got 4 different positions here you can use. And the other one, you just have a pin loaded that moves it up and down. Kind of like this, it's a lot quicker because those are the ones, 2 settings I use most, so you just slide it forward and backwards. Quicker adjustments there. But then we have the rail system here. These things are heavy duty, haven't had a problem. But this has actual, just kind of like, I guess wheels around the rails, so it just goes up and down really smoothly. The other one, it's like a bearing system, and as you're going up and down, it's actually quite loud. This one, sometimes it squeaks. They gave me some new wheels that I haven't put on yet, but if you do uneven pressure, it'll squeak some, depending on, I've noticed, if I have more weight loaded up top versus down here, it'll make it do that, but it's only when it's pushing uneven, so that's, I don't really care. The other one is kind of loud, just going because of all the bearings. Yeah, the other thing that's really obvious just when you look at them online are the pads up here. So I wouldn't say these are more comfortable than the other ones, but I do like how this comes out here. This is made essentially for you to do reverse hack squats. I don't personally really like the exercise. I see a lot of people do them in the gym because to me it puts more stress on my lower back versus being flat against the pad and you have support like that. But what I do like it for is when I get against it this way and I do calf raises with my feet down here, because with the old one, you pretty much have your shoulders here and the pads here and your face is just in the pad and it's like sweating and breathing on yourself and kind of annoying. But this, you can move further up, your head has plenty of space between the pad, shoulders against this, it's comfortable, you can kind of hold on to them. Another thing with the other one, I would kind of put my hands here to hold on to it and it would almost like, if I had an arm pump, like cut off the circulation of my arms as I'm holding, but this can grab onto these out here, just the side of this, and it's pretty comfortable. So that's really good. And then the other thing that I really like, the last thing we'll cover, is the plate storage. For one, on the actual machine for doing the exercises, you see we have this big one out here that you can do, but then the one that's closer in down here. So I put my base weight, so I start with warm up, I put it down there and I leave it on there so I'm not having to take heavy weights and put them on and off. And then I can just go over and easily grab my weight and slide it on, or slide it on down here. And it's easy to do drop sets and just move them back here versus the other one. It has one weight peg on each side, but it's a peg that sticks straight up. So if you've got a bunch of 45-pound plates, you're bending over, having to pull them all the way off. And if you've got bumper plates, you're trying to work your fingers in there to get them off. Versus this, waist level, I keep the lighter ones down here, these heavier ones here, so I just lift it up. It's way easier on your back. A lot more weight storage and convenient to get to. So overall, I do like this one a lot better. It's only $300 more right now, which I know $1,100 sounds like a lot, but for all the benefits you get, the better range of motion, the bigger foot pads, the better storage, I think this is a go-to for me if you were trying to decide between one and the other. But if you have any questions, post them down in the comments. Hit that like button if this was helpful, and you can see me use this in my live videos. I'm posting live all the time, so check that out, and I'll see y'all soon.